So I hope you got your coffee and
Actually,
ready
I
to
did.
go.
Hold on. I forgot. I left it on my desk right here. I got my little mug here. I didn't take into account. I thought that this tree was cute,
Oh, that is cool.
but I didn't take into account holding it is not the easiest thing.
Okay, so this is, and this might make the channel cut in the blooper somewhere, but honestly, gee, so there is, oh, I have it here. So I will show it. Okay, so typically I like my logos facing away.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. I'm not really OCD, but like that, like to me, like it needs to be logos away. Now, this cup is double-sided. It doesn't matter. Most mugs are double-sided.
Yeah.
Um, you get yeah, I'm gonna show it. It's gonna piss some people off, but you get your leftist tears, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then like you can drink it because like the logo's facing, doesn't have anything on that side. I got the coolest mug, but I hardly ever use it because okay. So shout out to RV Destinations. I love them. They're just a destination magazine, and we work hand in hand with the Briggs sometimes. So the logo on this side, okay, but they got hand grooves, and I don't.
Oh gosh.
So like they're hand grooves. So you put your hand. So it feels so nice, but I had to drink with the logo facing me,
Oh
and
yeah.
psychologically it messes me up.
Yeah, for you, it's like that's like just your little bit of OCD is like
Yeah,
it
I'm just
has
like, so like I use it, but like it's weird because it's great. It has a great feeling, like the grip. That's awesome.
yeah.
But like I like my logos this way, but I can't drink it this way. And it just, yeah, it's a wreck.
I feel like this mug would mess you up then because the picture of the tree is only on the front, not the back.
Yeah, that's a problem. That would mess
Yeah.
me.
You'd have to drink it with your left hand.
I'd be lefty for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I have that problem with like seasonings. Like all of the seasoning names have to be like when I open the cabinet, they have to be I have to be able to look at them. I can't be all messed up. It just screws me up.
I wonder why our minds psychologically go that route.
Honestly, I don't know. I think about that all the time. I'm like, do I have OCD? And then I'm like, nah, a lot of people get this way, you know?
Like I can confirm other places like my bedroom, honestly, it's like a wreck because I'm like there could be clothes on the floor. Like a lot of people would like have to put them away, have to be like organized. Some people are worse. Sometimes they have to be organized by color. I've never met one, but I've heard the stories. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't picture putting my clothes in like the color of the
Bye.
rainbow to make sure it like flows.
Yeah. I know my fiance has a problem like well, he did the Marine Cadet program at Virginia Tech. So like the bed has to be made a certain way. He used to freak out. Like he would get so mad at me that one day he just showed me how to do it because he was so mad. Because it's like the sheets have to be folded a certain way, and then like the whatever the cover has to be folded a certain way. I was like, you know what, you just do it. I'm not gonna. I made the bed. It just wasn't how he wanted it.
Is that like the certain tell? So like when you get angry at each other, is that like you don't make the bed properly to show that you're angry?
Yeah,
That one of
yeah,
them.
stupid stuff like that. They're like, oh,
Uh,
she's mad.
off camera, but you can see it on my Snapchat or my Instagram today. I have my Five Nights at Freddy's Bonnie. He's all dressed up in the Christmas.
Wait, isn't there a second one out?
Yes, I saw it the 2 weeks ago because it came out 2 weeks ago. This week is Avatar week. I don't have a
I
podcast out
heard
yet
that.
because I'm going to see Avatar tonight. So
Oh.
this is from the first one, but obviously, it's Christmas themed, so it's not like dated first movie or second. But yep, that's here to celebrate the Christmas season. The second
Oh,
Five
that's
Nights at
awesome.
Freddy's was good. I still think the first, well, it's hard to say because they went a little bit harder in this, and either way, it's geared towards the fans. The critics hated it, which I could easily spin into our first conversation because I actually have something that probably you never thought of or that I never thought of, but here nor there. But no, the second one was really good. I slightly enjoyed the first one better. I don't know why, but like either way, both were good.
Was the same guy in it the guy that plays in the Hunger Games, or was it like a completely different story?
Nope, same one.
Um,
The only thing that switches was location based. So
oh, okay.
in
So
the
it's like,
games, you have like the sister location, you have the main location, you got the side location, depending on how the Afton ran in partnership deals and stuff. So that's explained pretty well in the movie. And honestly, I've watched a lot of people play the games. I've never physically played the games. I'm one of those weird people that watch the streamers rather than play the games. Again,
yeah,
why psychologically that's the case. You rather play, but you watch the streamers. So, you watch people like Markiplier, Queso, all them play these games and you learn a little bit of the lore. Matt Pat, does like the game theory, like
yeah, 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 yeah.
so I've learned a lot of the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, but like there was a lot of cool things that was built in for the fans that even I had to be explained because it's like, oh, okay, that goes based off game 3 or game 2. I don't really know chronological order sometimes. in the movie series, but
Yeah, my uncle was asking me the other day, actually. He was like, I heard this movie came out. He goes, I don't think I saw the first one, but how did it start? Was it a game? Was it a board game? Was it a comic? And I said, I'm pretty sure it was a video game first, and then they turned it into a board game. Because I know they were selling it at like this, I saw it at Spencer's once, because they have good games there. And then there was somewhere else I saw it. I think Target had it, like Five Nights at Freddy's, and then they turned it into a movie. But he wasn't really understanding the scenario in it. He was like, I don't understand why it's scary though. I'm like, you know what? I tried to explain it, but people in old age.
well, it's a perfect time of year to explain it because we're going to go into our first Christmas story, I guess, at least telling the tales of Christmases past. You ever see the kids always like in the mall? If I'm going to explain it to your uncle,
Okay.
you go into a mall during Christmas and you always see Santa taking photos with the kids, and all the kids are always screaming and crying because they're afraid of the person behind the mask. That is Five Nights at Freddy's because they're afraid of the animatronics. Because some
Right.
people, their costumes, some people, and you see some weird, and I don't know if I could even pull up pictures online, but you've probably seen like the old fashioned 60s, 70s costumes for the Easter Bunny and how they look so weird and so
They're
crazy.
creepy. They're
Yeah, I
creepy
know. And
looking.
it's one of those things that's like picture that as an animatronic back then in that day and age, and you
Yeah.
understand their fear.
Picture your mother wanting you to take a picture on their lap every Easter. I would be freaked out as a child for sure.
Yeah.
Back then.
And like I said, that's one of the, and I mean, people get freaked out on like say like their uncle shows up to the Christmas party dressed as Santa, just to surprise the kids because we had that growing up. Our uncle would always do that. Again, we would kind of know who it was, but here nor there. Say a kid's just like so young they don't know who it is, and even though it's their uncle on the other side, they're still crying because like it's like a complete stranger, and I get it.
Yeah. Have you seen those videos of the Grinch scaring the children, like coming in and stealing the presents? I think it's hilarious.
How dare we traumatize them with the Grinch and Krampus?
I want to do that one day. I just want to see their reactions.
Would you hire somebody to do it, or would you dress up as a Grinch and do it?
I don't know. It depends. It depends. I feel like the costume has to be good, in my opinion. Because if they're like 10, they're not going to believe that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
maybe I would hire someone just one time, though.
So I am since that is a great segue because what I was about to say about things that you didn't know and that I didn't know. So Jim Carrey's The Grinch came out in 2000, and it might come up in this podcast a little bit more often. Gianna, and it's not unheard of for the critics to hate the movie at 50%. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes, they gave The Grinch with Jim Carrey at 50%, which I think is an awful score because it
It
still
is
holds up the
awful.
test of time. It's funny. It's not as good as the original to me. That was in 1966, the cartoon version. I love that one.
Yeah.
But I didn't think Jim Carrey's The Grinch was that bad.
No,
Um,
and everybody loves it.
Funny you should say that. The audience gave it a 59.
What?
See, that is something in which is really, really weird. Now, granted, who goes back and reviews movies from 2000 maybe on Rotten Tomatoes? So maybe that was the score of Rotten Tomatoes for the first people that saw it and never went back and like did some sort of like review on it. But right
I
now it's
wouldn't have
sitting at
guessed that.
59% fan score on Rotten Tomatoes.
I wouldn't have guessed that because you know how many videos I see of people with the Grinch theme song on TikTok and they're getting all their Grinch decorations up and they're just showing that they're watching the movie. It's like all of my TikTok feed. So I wouldn't have guessed that because like out of all of the movies, I feel like I see the Grinch on my feed the most.
Yeah. And it's a memeable movie. It's very iconic. Not saying that both the old cartoon and that aren't. I know they tried to replicate a Grinch like two other times since in cartoon version. It just hasn't worked. Uh,
Right.
and those are the scores I would expect from that. But like, I would never. That's like a weird reality in which 59% of people then slash now that are rating it love that movie. But it's definitely a whole lot more. I mean, there's no way that that holds true. So that's kind of weird.
I don't know. I mean, that new Grinch, the new cartoon one, I actually don't think it's that bad because it's like a different story. It's not the same reason why he hates Christmas. So to me, I was like, oh, okay. It's not like they're not trying to make it exactly the same. I hate when people do that.
Yeah, they found a new unique way to twist it to tell this
Yeah.
story without actually like ruining others, and that's great.
Yeah.
And
To me, it seems like kind of like a different movie. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same.
no, absolutely. And that's one of the things too, is like I think because and I have a bias against cartoons nowadays. I will go see some that come out, but as far as like cartoons, I don't have the motivation to just go to the theater to watch what I would deem as like a kids movie anymore. But I understand that most of them are still made for adults. Like I'm sure the new SpongeBob movie that's coming out, I think it's this weekend or came out last weekend in theaters.
Mhm.
I'm sure it was geared for some adults too, because everybody caters to like the 90s kids like ourselves. But
I'm not.
I had no interest in doing that.
The only movie that I would have saw in the theater would have been Zootopia, and that's only because everybody at work called me Judy or Officer Hops. So that's the only reason why I would have gone.
That's funny. That's funny.
But I could do without watching those at the movie. There's movies that you watch at the movies, and then there's movies that you could just watch at home.
Mhm.
That's one of them.
Yeah, and
Any
with the
cartoon.
with streaming service and other things, I'm sure we could go in because I'm sure you know about the Paramount potentially buying net or buying Warner Brothers being bought out by Netflix. You know, there's a whole controversy going on there,
Mm-hmm.
depending on who's going to sell to who. But Gianna, I think, well, let me do this because I pulled up Entertainment Weekly, the magazine. They did a
Okay.
top 5 Christmas movies of all time.
Hmm.
And the reason why I think that this is great is because I don't think it's going to show up on really any of our list. I mean, there might be one or two crossovers, but
I bet it's the classics. I bet it's the cartoon classics.
yes, which saying it could be on your list. It's not on my list, but we'll go down. So number 5 was How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966, the cartoon I referenced.
Okay.
Number 4 was Elf from 2003, which I feel like that's going to be a potential for both of our lists here.
Yeah.
Number 3, A Charlie Brown's Christmas, which I think a lot of people like the Thanksgiving one better than the Christmas one.
I get that feeling too.
Number 2 is A Christmas Story, the old classic, You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Kid. And then
That's
number 1 is A Wonderful Life from 1946.
I would not have guessed that.
No, it is a great movie. I did watch it on the Golden Review with Chase. Chase Morgan Hewitt does his own podcast, the Golden Review, so feel free to check that out.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, you look at the years in which these movies came out. You had 1946, you had 1983, you had 1965, you had Elf at 2003, which is the more modern, and then How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 1966. So it goes to show you where we kind of value Christmas movies and kind of like where our cultural like shift is for Christmas season.
honestly, I'm surprised Elf was even on there with the way that that list was looking to me.
I don't know if they chose because like there's two 60s, okay, 65 and 66 here with the Grinch and Charlie Brown. I'm wondering if because yeah, the 40 had an 80 had a 260s and a 2003. I was wondering if maybe they were choosing like different generations because those
Yeah,
are films that could stand out to certain generations.
that's true. Maybe
It's
they
like a
were trying to
generational.
even it
Now,
out.
granted, there's nothing coming up on this list of late 2010s or 20s because like there's nothing in this generation to be honest with you. We don't even have good Christmas music anymore. We got people covering different songs for Christmas, but like unique original Christmas songs, they just don't exist.
You know, the only people that I actually like that are, I guess you could say, modern is Pentatonics, the a cappella group. Because they actually, like this year, I went and saw them and they made their own album with Frank Sinatra of like their own Christmas songs. So I thought it was pretty cool. Because like they don't use any instruments or anything. So
Yeah.
to me, that's kind of Christmassy, you know? But I mean, like, as far as good Christmas songs, yeah, we don't have nothing.
And I do have to say, I mean, I take that back because I do remember a 2010s Duck Dynasty Christmas album where they have a whole bunch of unique original songs, but that's a different story because Duck Dynasty was more for giggles than actual singing.
I did not know they released that. I'll have to tell my dad.
Yes, you need to. I think it was like probably 2014, 2015-ish.
I'm gonna listen to that right after this.
You should. I'm sure there's a YouTube playlist ready for it.
Uh,
So let's get a rundown. Maybe we'll go back and forth talking about different films. So, G, let me ask you, what is one of your favorite Christmas films that you watched during the holiday season?
So my absolute favorite since I was a kid, and I can't change it because that just goes against my belief. But I know people think it's creepy, but I really love the Polar Express. People say that they don't really understand the storyline, which I don't know how, but I feel like it's more of a like when people say Christmas is magical, I watch that movie and that's how I feel. So that's my favorite movie.
The bell still rings for those who believe. You know,
Hmm.
I actually have an ornament of that. My
You?
grandmother, yeah, it was like one of my early childhood, because she used to do seasonal ornaments for trees. So like every holiday season, she would get us one. And so I
Yeah.
have the Polar Express, the bell. So and it
That.
still rings, so I must still believe. So
Yeah, that's why I like it. I mean, to me, it's like more of a magical. It's kind of a different. I like when movies make like the North Pole look a little bit different than what people imagine. So that's why I like it.
No, understandable. I mean, Polar Express was on my list as well. My number one, so it could shift back and forth depending on the mood of the season that I'm in. But I almost have to give it to it because every year I watch Queen Latifah's The Last Holiday.
I don't think I've seen that.
So she gets diagnosed, but it's without, I mean, I should, I guess, spoil it. It's still a good movie if you watch it or not. But she gets falsely diagnosed with a terminal disease. Okay, she
Okay.
gets her head, she gets like, I don't know if it's like a brain tumor or something like that, but like they find all sorts of things. So she goes and she's like, I'm just gonna blow all my money. So she goes overseas. She goes for the Christmas season. She's going to these high-end casinos, and she's getting like lucky and stuff like that. And she's like, why God do I gotta die? Like this whole long like thing because she honestly thinks she's dying. And then the love of her life, which is set up early on. He comes back and tries to like chase her down after finding that she was wrongfully diagnosed. So it is a
So
nice
she
feel good movie.
does all the stuff she wants to do, but actually ends up not having a terminal
Yeah,
disease.
it's like a very nice Christmas bucket
I've
list
seen
and then
that, but like
finding.
a very long time ago, because it sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it's with LL Cool J as well. So that dates anything because LL Cool J, I don't know if he's been in anything since. I mean, his cop shows.
I don't know. I'll have to watch that though later today.
You should. It's a good watch. I think it's like an hour 45 kind of
That's
film.
not bad. That's not bad at all. So I have one that you probably haven't seen though.
Okay.
It's called Rise of the Guardians. It's animated, but it's basically about it's a story of how Jack Frost became Jack Frost, and then it also has like all the other holidays in it. So it has Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, obviously Santa. It has the Sandman. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't know, but it has a villain in it, and it's pretty freaking good. You should give it a watch. It's basically about how this villain is called, I think he's called Nightmare or something like that. Basically he takes the Sandman's dreams and turns them into nightmares, so then all the kids end up stop believing in Santa, and then it kind of wipes out all of the holidays when unless you have one kid believe, like they have to have one kid believe to keep the holidays alive, otherwise they lose all of their kind of like, I guess you could say, powers. I don't know, it's pretty cool though. They end up like the moon is like the one that gives them their powers, so I think it's kind of a an interesting take on the holidays.
And I'm assuming that's an animated one.
Yeah, it's animated. I I want to say it's on Disney Plus. I don't. It's not a Disney movie. It's a DreamWorks movie. I want to say it was on Disney Plus, but I have to double check that. I know it's for sure on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you can watch it.
Okay. And that was Rise of the Guardians, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I love that movie though.
I will definitely have to check that out after this. That
It's
sounds awesome.
very interesting to me, and the like for the North Pole, instead of elves, they have yetis, and then they have these like little gnome thingies, and they're very sarcastic. So I think it's funny. Like they get very angry. It's so cute.
You know what time period that was created in? Was that at 2010s? Was it 2000 or was that
I think that was 2010s.
okay?
So it's fairly new, but like I think it's so underrated because I don't think it was advertised a lot, but it's really good. For
I
an
was gonna say,
animated movie, I would say it's really good.
I haven't heard of it, so it would definitely be an underrated category, I think, which is for people watching this podcast or listening to this podcast. I think that's awesome that we can give references here for movies that might sneak under the radar.
Yeah, sorry, I might have not explained that well, but the storyline's kind of wacky, so.
No, I like it. It kind of reminded me. It's like a whole like I picture Monsters Inc. for some reason when you're like he has to scare the kids or something like that. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
like Monsters Inc. I was like, so it's a Christmas version of Monsters Inc. I like it.
Yeah, so actually the guy that plays the villain, I don't know if you know who Jude Law is, but it's just funny.
Sherlock Holmes. He was Watson.
Yeah, so it's just funny like hearing his voice in like a kid's movie because he sounds so evil and you're like, oh my gosh. Like why did they cast him? And then I forget who the main character was, but it was also somebody pretty popular. I just can't remember his name right now. But
That
yeah,
is really
yeah.
interesting. I like that. Number two on my list, like I said, it could flip one or two what I watch around the holiday season the most. The Ultimate Gift. That was for anybody wondering, The Ultimate Gift is a movie about kind of instead of the Scrooge, like he goes to visit the three different ghosts, it involves I think it was a grandson, I do believe, that was getting the family inheritance.
Hmm.
Was it grandson or was his son? No, it had to be grandson. The grandson was getting the family inheritance, but in order to get his inheritance, he had to go through and like help out different people along the way because he was kind of like a snobby kid. So he learns different lessons through threes. He goes to a ranch to work. He has to go like give to charity a certain amount to get like the other income and stuff like that. So it's a really good family oriented themed moralistic film for the holiday season.
So it kind of reminds you, like if you were like that, it kind of reminds you of like your family, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I'd be the grandfather, be like, yeah, you gotta get your inheritance a better way anyway. I
Yeah.
would do that to every family member, not just the bad ones.
No, that
But
sounds good. I don't think I've seen that either, actually. I'll have to watch that too.
yeah,
I'm really watching all the Christmas movies right now because, the month just flies right by. So,
and the end is kind of a tearjerker too, so just be prepared.
oh, that's okay. I cry at everything. Anything with a dog, I cry. So if there's a dog in it, whether anything happens to it, I will cry.
There is a dog in this one, but nothing happens to the dog.
Okay. Okay, I would say, ooh, see, it's hard because I don't know what I don't know what these would be ranked. I like The Grinch with Jim Carrey. That's definitely on my list. Everybody knows what The Grinch is about. What about you? What's your number three?
So this is where it kind of goes off a little bit because a lot of people could argue it's not a Christmas movie because really the only ending scene has snow. Okay. But
Okay.
it was released in late November, December when it came out. It is the honestly the best musical I've ever seen.
Oh, okay. I
It-
thought you were about to say Die Hard.
no. Although it is a Christmas movie, Die Hard. But The Greatest Showman to me just
Ooh,
encapsulates everything about the holiday season.
I love The Greatest Showman.
But see, I saw it in it was either in early January. It was either like one of the first movies that we as a family went to go see early in January, but it came out in the November, December season. And like even though there's like the end scene has the snow and stuff like that, it's a great musical, a great story of family, of trust, of rebuilding yourself, not chasing necessarily the ego, but chasing the dream at the end. And
Right.
honestly, to me, it's like that's a Christmas movie if I've ever seen one. A good
Yeah.
moral framework at the end of the year.
Yeah. Out of all the movies, that one my fiance loves because he likes a good choir. But I just thought it was so fun. I love that movie. It's so good. Actually, I watched a musical last night. Have you seen Spirited?
I've not.
It's with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. It's a Christmas movie, but it's basically about it kind of so the main character is Will Ferrell and he basically dies. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but he dies and he becomes this ghost who runs this like I guess Christmas business. So it's kind of like the Scrooge where it's like your past, present, and future. But in this case, he was the Scrooge and he redeemed himself. They have like these folders that they keep like redeemable people in and stuff like that. Every year they pick a new person. And I don't know if the person necessarily has to be bad, but it's usually somebody who's like wealthy and doesn't really care about children or doesn't care about who they hurt to get where they are, kind of. So they pick somebody every year and they study them for a whole year and then they show them their past, present, and future. And then they tell them, hey, if you want to be good, you have to redeem yourself. Kind of like the Scrooge, but it's a little bit different because Will Ferrell actually does show his past to where he was the Scrooge and said, like, I redeemed myself and I was a terrible person and this and that. But it's really good. You should give it a watch. It's the music is okay. I will say it's not like The Greatest Showman, but they have a few good songs and it's a good story. I'd give it a watch. But it's fairly new. It's like I think it's like 2022. I don't know.
I was gonna say, it's very interesting because we just went from a Hugh Jackman film to a Ryan Reynolds film. So you have to mention them in the same breath. Like it's
Yes.
pair and pair right now.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how the meme culture is, and that's how we are.
Yes.
Um,
But that one's not on my list. I was just saying I watched it.
okay. I mean, that seems like it's to me, that seems like a really good like if they could include musicals just around the holiday season, like ever, I think it always cracks like one of the top movies.
Yeah, because I feel like it's more magical for people to watch. My opinion, though.
So did you have another one on your list that you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. Okay. So if we're doing five, like the other list we talked about, so hard. I would have to say I do like Elf. Everybody knows what that's about. What's your number four, I guess?
So my number four, I like the Santa Claus.
That was
Now,
see, that was gonna also be on my list.
now,
I don't really rank them. The only one I rank is the Polar Express because it's my number one.
yeah, I
But
was
I
gonna
love
say
the Santa Claus movies.
The Santa Claus, and maybe it's not even like a rank. It's just like the films that pop in our head. Like we have our number one and our number twos, but as we go down, it's kind of like where do we rate them above the other? So
Yeah.
I think when I say my number five, people are gonna be like, well, how is it not higher than the Santa Claus? But I honestly just love the original. I'm talking about just the original. Two and three of the Santa Clauses, I really don't go back to rewatch. If it's on TV, I'll let it on.
I'm
But
okay with two.
I'm the
I
original.
don't really like three. That's the one I really don't like. But yeah, the original, great movie.
Yeah. Like, and it's just one, and actually, I'll just go with the number five because number five has a bunch of spin-offs too. And honestly, the number one's the best one, Home Alone.
Oh yeah, it's
But
good.
I rate the Santa Claus above Home Alone. I just do. I think
I like Home Alone.
it's nothing against the movie. I think they're both solid films that are generational and will stand the test of time. I just think Tim Allen, what he brings to the role is better than Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, I like Home Alone, but I feel like the Santa Claus obviously is a little bit more Christmassy. I mean, Home Alone has a good storyline, but it's not like if it's on TV, I'll watch it and like if I see it, I'll put it on, but I'm not in my head, I'm not going out of my way to watch it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love the Santa Claus movies. What's another good one? If you want to do like classics, I really like. I don't even know if these really count as movies though, because it's like 20 minutes long. Frosty the Snowman, like the legit original. Love that one.
Well, if you pair now, I know they're different animation styles because one was more like claymation, the other one was like 2D drawings. But if you pair like the
They're
Frosted
by the
Snowman,
same person though.
the Jack Frost, and the Rudolph one, it pretty much makes an hour. And I think sometimes they
Yeah.
even sell the DVDs where like they're on the same DVD. So like
Yeah.
if you start pairing those, it makes a whole movie.
Yeah, I just don't know if they count as movies like originally.
Well, you could say films. I mean, short films and feature films, it doesn't matter. They're both
True, true.
films.
True.
So movies are just films. So yeah, they count. They count. You know, it was weird because me and Chase Morgan Hewlett did, I think last year, we did a favorite Halloween movie. And I shocked everybody because I said it was Mickey's House of Villains. Remember Mickey's House of Mouse?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I
they
love
did Mickey's
watching
House of
those. They have
Villains,
a
and I threw
Christmas one
yeah.
too.
And everybody seemed to like that in the podcast. And I was like, well, I mean, it's true. I always used to watch that on a yearly basis for Halloween. One of the things that seems to pop up in the cycle for Christmas, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, I think
I do love him going and searching for Turbo Man. I do. Just
yeah, it's good. Wait, what's another one? Oh, I like Christmas with the Cranks. That's another good one. Because that
that
one to me is like a little bit relatable, so I'm like, oh, this is hilarious.
your family was skipping Christmas too.
No, they're just crazy.
Well, and crazy, then you have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So like how crazy is it? National Lampoon's crazy or is Christmas with the Cranks crazy? Because one is
Well,
clearly above the other.
actually I specifically don't watch that movie because I'm afraid it's going to remind me of my family.
So you actually
That's why
stay
I do
away from
not watch that
Lampoon's.
movie.
You
Yeah,
know,
they're
we turned that on about 3 nights ago. The family, we just sat down and we watched National Lampoon's, and it's been a while.
yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't watched that in a really long time, and that's why, because I'm pretty sure my family is crazy like that. But
there's just things you could get away with back in like the 80s and 90s making these movies that you
yeah,
just can't today. Which is
yeah,
sad because
it's
we
a
could have
shame.
some all-time classic bangers here today
I know,
if
but
we
it's a
actually took away politically correct culture.
yeah, it's a shame that we can't make movies like that anymore. Even comedies, they can't even say certain things. It's like, come on, it's a comedy. If you're watching it, you know they're gonna say stuff that's gonna piss you off. Like, come on.
Yeah. And even, I mean, he's still doing work, but Eddie Murphy is kind of a shell of himself. I just watched Candy Cane Lane the other day on Amazon,
Oh
and
yeah,
I was like, well, I mean, it's decent,
but it's not
but
great.
no, and it's one of those weird things too. Like it's almost sad, and this is diverting from the Christmas episode of the podcast, but maybe I'll get your opinion on this. It's sad when you see, and it happens to everybody, athletes, it happens to musicians, it happens to actors. They phase out over time. They have like their big era, and then they fizzle out. You know, and
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing. It happens. It progresses. The new up and comers show up, or films move on without them. But you know, you get Eddie Murphy. I mean, we mentioned Will Ferrell. Um, who are
Well,
some
it's funny though, because if you look these people up, like I was, have you ever seen Ozark?
I have not, but I've heard good things.
Okay, well, the mom in it, I forget her name. I think her, yeah, I forget her name, and I don't want to butcher it. But I was just looking her up last night, and I'm like, she has to be in other stuff. And then so I'm looking at where it says like, TV/movies, what they've been in. Obviously, apparently during 2007 and 2008 she was in like 15 movies, so I'm like, oh, that in my head I was like, that must have been like her big era where she was very popular. But it's just kind of sad to watch. Like, you'd think that they would keep them in, the film industry, which she still does things here and there, but she's not getting parts as frequent, and she's not a bad actress.
Yeah.
It's the lady that was in Love Actually, another Christmas movie actually. So I don't know, it is just kind of sad to see though.
No, I mean, and it happened to Jim Carrey too. I mean, he had a resurgence
In
with the
2000s.
Sonics, but I mean, by Sonic 2, Sonic 3, I mean, he was kind of still a shell of himself, which is
I don't
sad
think
to
the
watch.
Sonics were that good though.
So I have a different opinion than a lot of other people. I think the Sonic movies are awful,
Yeah, I don't think they're that good.
but the fandom loves them, and I give
I
credit to
don't
the
know
fans.
why. Like, I didn't think, like, I like Jim Carrey. I did not think they were funny. I was just like, this is terrible. Because to me, they advertised it so much, they hyped it up. I was expecting something way more. And that's why you never hype up movies, because you just let people down.
I'm gonna end up clipping this because the internet's gonna go wild probably if they hear this, but I honestly believe that Detective Pikachu was better than the Sonic movies.
I love Detective Pikachu. I don't know why. I just love that movie. I actually own it because I liked it.
And the guy that started Detective Pikachu he's been making an appearance lately. He's been in the Dungeon and Dragon series. He was in the new Now You See Me. I think that's him, right?
Yeah, I think so. I know, wasn't Ryan Reynolds in that? He
Oh,
was
maybe I'm
Pikachu.
thinking of somebody else. But yeah,
Ryan,
Ryan Reynolds wasn't that now that you say that.
he was Pikachu.
Correct. But the kid I'm talking about, I think.
Mm, I
I
think
think
you're right. I think he's in
I
it.
yeah, I think the kid had started to come on board with the Hollywood scene a little bit more too. So that was, like I said, we talk about actors coming in face now. So but yeah, I mean, it just when you look at these Christmas movies, I mean, it's weird because we mentioned Tim Allen. Tim Allen is responsible for some great Christmas movies. You got
Yes.
Christmas with a Crank, and you got the Santa Claus 1, 2, 3, whatever, how many you want to count
Yeah.
them. The thing is, like Tim Allen never really went anywhere. Like he's kind of still where he left, which is
Yeah.
really odd.
I mean, he's in things here and there, but yeah, he's not. He's mostly popular for his Christmas movies.
But he's never been like top of his game ever in his life. Now he had Home Improvement. Okay.
Mhm.
So Tim Allen, don't get upset with me if you hear this. I'm not saying that he's never been like a great actor, like top. He's never he's never been a Tom Cruise.
But you would have think he
He's
would
never
have
been a
because
Tom
he is a
Hanks.
great actor.
He's never been a Leonardo DiCaprio, but he's always been consistent across the board. And
But
so
you
he's
would think
kind of,
that he would have been up there with them.
yeah. I think he has a greater story though, because I believe his story was going through like drug addiction and stuff like that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. You want to talk about something funny? Have you watched Euphoria?
I have not. I just know that was Sydney Sweeney's rise to fame, and thank God. Anyway, continue.
No, but Euphoria, it's like been 7 years or something crazy. It was like, what was it, like 5 to 7 years since they released the last season. I think the last season came out in 2019. It's 2025, about to be 2026. And now they're like, oh, a new season's coming out. And we're like, well, one guy quite literally died in real life. The other, his brother in the show died in the show. So there's no way to even play that story out. And then you got like people were commenting on the video. I hope Rue doesn't still owe this lady money because she had a drug addiction and ended up like trying to sell drugs and owed this drug dealer money. But it's like, it's been 5 years. Like, what are they gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know where the storyline is gonna go. They got to do a time jump, and now it's like it's crazy to think about how big Sydney Sweeney got in those years because I'm like, there's no way they are paying her the same amount. Because in my opinion, Sydney Sweeney is way bigger than Zendaya. And when that show started, Zendaya was basically like the big star that they had. And now they also have Jacob Elordi on it, who is pretty big now too. So I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like your co-stars are now like some of the biggest people.
Now, I do have to say, it depends on how the contract was. If they had signed up for 3 seasons or so at the same rate, then
They
they're
have
kind
to
of
get them the
contractually
same
bound to
rate.
it.
Right, right.
So, that might be the cheapest role that Sydney Sweeney is ever going to be taking coming up in the near future. But, it's very interesting because here's a question for you, okay? Does it bother you? And of course, we go back to our High School Musical days. Zac Efron was clearly over 18
All
making
of
a high school
us.
movie. I'm assuming because Euphoria, they did not graduate. in the last season that we saw. So are they pretending like Sydney Sweeney and company are back in high school?
So I did hear they were gonna do a time jump to where they were already through college.
I would hope so.
Makes a little sense, but yeah, I would hope so too.
Like, so,
It
like,
doesn't.
I can't even imagine. Like, and the other thing is too, like, this is something where, and again, this is getting really off the Christmas podcast, but, you know, with how much stuff is going on in the entertainment field industry, and how much they seem to make these high school shows that go a little bit too far and do a little bit too much on screen because like the actors are over 18.
Yeah,
I do kind of say that they should make the actors, like if you're playing a high school role, be high school age so that we don't have to deal with seeing that stuff on screen.
yeah, there is like, and I don't know if you know Pretty Little Liars, but when that show came out, those girls were nowhere near high school. And I'm not saying they were old, they were in their 20s, but I mean, you're watching this as a high school and you're like, well, how the hell, why don't I look like that? You know what I mean? It's like they're like fully grown, full face of makeup, they're wearing high heels, nice outfits. It's like nobody in my high school looks like that, you know what I mean? But I did see something where Sydney Sweeney said, that during her scenes, if she didn't have to take her shirt off, she would just tell the director, "Hey, like, look, I don't really think it's necessary here." Like, because there's some parts of the show where she's like, "Okay, like it goes with the storyline," but then she's like, "I feel like you're just making me take my shirt off, like just cause." And she said she had nothing against the director, and I do actually, I like the story that he created because the guy that directs it used to be a drug dealer, so he does kind of show like realistic stuff, which is really important, but it's like to the extent of I like the show, but then it's like what age group should be allowed to watch it? You know what I mean? Because I feel like when there's younger kids that watch stuff like that, there's some that might sit there and say, "Oh, well, because I'm watching this on TV and I see what these people go through, I'm gonna overcome it." And then there's other people that are like, "Well, I relate to this person so much that I feel like I'm depressed and now I want to commit suicide and like all of this stuff." And it's like, maybe they weren't, I don't know if they were thinking about that before. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't know what age group would be appropriate to watch it. I feel like like if it's going to be high school at all, it's got to be later high school, like 11th, 12th grade. It can't be younger than that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my thing is just like I'd rather not even remotely put certain things in people's minds. So
Yeah,
like
that's
I
what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I can also probably tell you it happened with One Tree Hill as well. Because you go back and watch that classic show from the 2000s. I mean, my goodness, say that they were never in high school filming that stuff.
Well,
I can,
yeah, Chad
um,
Michael Murray did not look
well,
like he was in high
okay.
school.
Chad Michael Murray still hasn't aged.
I
Still
know.
has not aged.
It's the
I saw
same.
him on a Hallmark. I think it was Hallmark or Freeform or
Oh
whatever
yeah.
movie the other day,
No,
and I'm just like, it's a new one.
he's
He hasn't aged.
no, he looks really good actually for his age.
Oh, I'm not
Okay, but
disagreeing. I think he does look good,
back
but
to
I'm just saying
the
he has not aged.
yeah, but back to the Christmas stuff because I don't want to ruin the podcast. So, but have you seen like for newer movies? Have you seen Violent Night with David Harbour,
I have.
the guy from Stranger Things? What do you think about it? Because I honestly loved it.
It's a good
I think it was
story.
a lot better. I thought it was a lot better than the red one with Chris Evans, which I like that movie too, but I thought it was better.
So they're both equal to me. I liked Violent Night a little bit more because there was a lot more action and a lot more like things that you
Yeah.
can not say relate to because obviously there's like killings and everything else and beating up. But I there was a lot more of a more interesting watch. Like if I'm putting two movies on in the background, this is how I explain certain films like levels. Like it's either a 6 or 7 to me. What oh boy, I just did the meme. Um when it comes to ratings, being a 7 or a 6, it depends on how the level of activity can be in the background. So like there's
Right,
certain movies I'll put on in the background. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good one you just want to pay more attention to, or it's just one where you're just paying attention to the computer and editing and stuff like that while it's on.
right,
I
right.
think that Violent Night is a
Do
7.
that.
I think Red One is a 6. I'm just gonna pay more attention to Violent Night. And
Yeah,
that is a result of David Harbour. I mean, anybody that took which it's weird because Stranger Things, of course, season like what is it, 5 is out now? Is that what
yeah.
the season
Except
is?
they only released half a season. The other
Yeah, so
half's being
season 5, part 1, part 8, whatever. So with I think his character with the rise of Stranger Things, him as an actor, I think he's kind of taken off because he's in Thunderbolts and stuff as well, compared to some
yeah.
of the other actors in that franchise that should have taken off but didn't.
Yeah. I think the main kid, I don't remember his name. The one with he's got like darker hair. He was in It, the tall one. I just don't remember his name. I think it's Finn something. And then obviously Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
She took off, but not like the rest of them didn't really. I haven't really seen them in a lot of stuff.
And I think this is one of those things too, where a lot of and it takes a while to break sometimes actors that are perfectly casted in a series that maybe don't get other acting jobs, but they're just remembered as that character. Hopefully, I mean, there's goods and there's pros and cons to it. I hope that a lot of people remember the Stranger Things movies as it goes through time, or the series as it goes through time. They're
You
like,
say
oh, those
series,
actors were
but they
great.
are like an hour 20 long. That's like territory right there.
Yeah, they could be movies, honestly.
But that's the see, and that's the thing is that's the only show where I'm like I'm okay with how long because it took them 10 years to film what 5 seasons. I'm okay with it because one every episode's like at least an hour and 10 minutes at least, and then you also have all of the like AI and cinematonics that they use. So it's like okay, I'm okay with it because they got a lot of stuff they got to do, you know. So, but I mean, other than that. Do you consider Krampus a good Christmas movie, or do you not consider it a Christmas movie?
Oh, it's
I
a
feel like
Christmas movie. Um, is it good? It's entertaining, but I wouldn't say it's good. It's one of those
I
where you watch it once or twice and then don't need to watch it again.
I agree with you because I was watching it last night because I have like Peacock and they have the live channels and it was just on because I was just wrapping gifts so I'm like whatever I'll just put it on but I the only time I watched it before that was the first time it came out so like to me it was like watching it brand new a second time because I only remembered a few things so I wasn't like like it was entertaining enough to where I'm watching it but I didn't have to look at it every 2 seconds so
Yeah. I mean, I like certain concepts. I like being stuck in your own like snow globe type thing. I mean, that's
yeah
cool.
yeah yeah.
But also at the same time, it's like, could things have been done better? Yeah. Could things have been scarier? Yeah.
Yeah,
It
for
kind of
sure.
also depends on what they were going for
I thought
because
it was going to be scarier.
it depends what it goes for because sometimes, and I don't know if that one got a rated R because if it did, they should have went harder. But sometimes these films like the borderline like PG-13 or rated R because PG-13 is going to bring in more people to the theaters compared to a rated R, just
Isn't
naturally.
PG-13 only allowed to say the F word 3 times or something?
It might only be once even, I'm not sure, but it limits what they could show
Oh,
on
you might be
screen. I
right.
think there's also like a blood and gore limit too. Um,
Yeah, but they did have some good actors in it. Like they had the guy from Parks and Rec. Don't know his name either. Uh, the one woman in it, she's pretty popular. And then the uncle in it, he's in a lot of comedies. I can't remember these names off the top of my head now. I should really write these down.
well, the weird thing is they tried to incorporate some comedy in the film too. And I
Yeah,
can't say that the comedy worked.
no, it did not. Not for that.
But
Not for
again,
that
that's
storyline.
but again, that's one of those things where I feel like they were trying to go with a rating or try to keep it like on the line, and they should have just went one way or the other.
Right. What are some Christmas, I guess you could say pastries or cookies that you eat every year?
All right. So what I make every year is cold candy. So if you know
Okay.
what cold candy is, what you do basically is you buy a whole bunch of marshmallows from the store. Make sure you get the small ones, not the big ones, although it doesn't matter. You put
Okay.
like two little chops of butter in the microwave, and what you do is you melt down the marshmallow and the butter, stir it around, and before it gets too hard, in the meantime, you grind up very thinly Oreos. So,
Okay.
so then you dump the whole bunch of Oreos into the marshmallow mix. Then you mix it all up, and then you scoop them out and like hand form them into like little coal, so they
Ooh,
turn out
that
black
seems
inside.
great.
Oh, it's amazing.
You gotta send me that recipe. I want to try that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I should just make it for the YouTube channel. Like it'll be my only cooking
Honestly,
thing on the YouTube channel.
we could have a whole baking series
Honestly,
of
I'm
like
not
trying new
I'm not
things.
anti that. I think that could be pretty fun.
Me either. I actually really like to bake, so I like to try new things. So I'm down to do whatever.
All right. Well, we'll put a poll in the comments below. Should we start a
Yes.
cooking show here or like a cooking
Yes.
series?
Yes.
That'd be awesome. I mean, here's the thing. We could easily do it on TikTok too. Easily.
Yeah.
Like even
Exactly.
if we wanted to split it off, we could easily do it on TikTok.
We got one phone recording for TikTok and the other one recording for the podcast.
We're just going live. It doesn't. We're just going live.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But I will say this is a New Year's tradition for me. So every New Year's Eve, I make Italian wedding soup to ring in the new year.
I love Italian wedding soup.
That is probably the best thing I ever made. Like if there's like a cooking, I could do meatloaf, I could do some other stuff like that, but my Italian wedding soup is like number one.
Yeah, I love Italian wedding soup. So good.
Gee, how about
My
you as far
family,
as
huh?
how about you as far as pastries, desserts?
Um, Pastries. Okay, well, every year I have to make peanut butter kisses. I don't know if you know what they are. The little peanut butter cookies with the Hershey kiss in the middle and dipped in sugar. I just that's like a tradition for my family. Um, but this year I want to try something new. So I did already make a peppermint bark, which I've never made before. It's super easy. You literally just melt white chocolate, dark chocolate, mix it together, and then crush up the candy cane and put it on. But I want to try making. Do you know what cookie butter is?
I don't.
It's okay, so it's a fairly new popular flavor. It's kind of like the Dubai chocolate, like it's like blown up. It's really good though. It tastes like those Biscoff cookies that you get on the airplane. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So it's they're making like instead of like peanut butter, now they have cookie butter. So I want to do like little pretzels and melt the cookie butter and then pour it over the pretzels and then put some sprinkles on it. I want to see if that'll taste good, but what else? Oh, I like those little pretzels with the Rolos, and then you put the M&M in them. Those are really good. My fiance taught me how to make those this year because I've never had them before, but now that I have, I'm like, holy crap, this stuff's like crack. I keep eating them. I like those, and then I don't know about like real food. Like we have ham every year, but I don't really have something that I make every year that's like dinner food. I just make a lot of cookies. I make raspberry shortbread cookies. I also make, I don't know if you know what a pignoli is. It's an Italian cookie with pine nuts on it and it's got almond paste. It's really good. I make a lot of cookies. That's like our tradition. Every year me and my sisters we get together and make like 50 different cookies.
Now, are they the type of cookies that you can like put the icing on and decorate, or are those where you typically make them plain?
So, are you talking about pignolis or just in general?
In general.
In general, we do have cookies that we put icing on, but it's not the ones you're thinking of. I do want to try and make those, but I haven't mastered like a sugar cookie recipe yet or shortbread, so I'm trying to figure that out first. But we do like regatta cookies. They're Italian cookies, and then you put like a cream cheese frosting on it. It's really good. I'll have to make some for you and bring them up when I'm in Hazleton, because actually next week I have to go there a lot. So.
Okay. Yeah, swing by. We could do another even maybe live in the studio podcast. Who knows?
Yeah, I will definitely swing by.
Or we'll start the cooking channel maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, we'll start the cooking channel.
You know, if anybody has tips out there too, the one thing that I always struggle with when it comes to like sugar cookies or anything that you're shaping, I can never figure out how to use a proper cookie cutter. I can't, they
What?
always break apart, especially when you get like the star. I can't get the dough out of the star.
Really?
And I know you're supposed to use
Got some new
flour,
ones. I'll
flour
have
it
to
up.
bring them for our cooking show.
Okay, I'm just saying, it doesn't work. Maybe it's just the ones like my mom's got all like her mom's and her
Try to take
grandmother's like,
a fork and like push it down.
yeah, but doesn't it still ruin it? No, no, no. So the dumb thing about these cookie cutters is there's no top to them, or like there's a
Okay.
top to them, like it's not open, so you can't push it down through. It's a solid like
Um,
metal
so
stamp.
it's got a little press handle.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, those
Once
are
it's
kind of
stuck in there,
hard.
what do you do with it?
Yeah, you're like, wait,
I'm just like
can't get you.
shake, but I'm just like it's not working.
Yeah, you need some different cookie cutters.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they ran in the family because they're like my mom's moms and stuff. So that's what we got. But
Yeah,
see, things were not easier back in the day. They didn't make them with things in mind, I don't believe.
sorry.
Well, gee, where can people find you at? Say they want to connect on social media, or do you have a YouTube? Do you have your own podcast? Anything like that?
No, so I'm actually well I have Instagram obviously. It's just Tuggle underscore Gianna. But my TikTok, I think I'm gonna start posting videos on there. So
You
we'll have to
absolutely
it's
should.
literally the same name, Tuggle underscore Gianna. So if you want to find me anywhere there or Facebook, just my name.
And we'll start collaborating on these videos too. So,
Yes, yes.
and for some reason, I think my camera froze.
It definitely froze. It's okay though, you're smiling
I,
in my friend.
I don't know. The frame that I'm frozen at does not look like a smile
Oh
whatsoever.
boy.
Because technology does not always cooperate, I'm doing the ending like this because I was frozen. So Thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. It's been an honor, and I hope you sincerely enjoyed all the Christmas conversations, talking about traditions, talking about our movies. And guys, which I know that we have an Avatar podcast that will be coming out after the opening of Avatar. This was previously recorded, so you'll get to listen to this and then listen to our other one. And then probably finish off the year with the best and worst films and other awards that we end up giving films during the 2025 season. So thank you guys for tuning in. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you later.